Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful tools you have in your personal arsenal, self-motivation. Think of it as your own inner fire, this personal engine that, once you learn how to start it, can take you literally anywhere you want to go. So let's get under the hood and figure out how it works.
Oh, we have all been there. You're staring at a to-do list that feels a mile long. You know you need to get started, but the spark just isn't there. It's that feeling of being stuck in neutral, right? Just waiting for a push that never seems to come. Well, what if I told you that you don't actually need to wait for a push from anyone else?
And that's exactly where self-motivation comes in. It's this internal force that just charges you up from the inside. This isn't really about willpower or discipline in that old-school tough-it-out sense. No, it's more about tapping into the feelings and emotions that genuinely drive you forward, which makes it so much easier to actually take action and get to your goals.
So, let's stick with this idea of an engine for a minute. If motivation is the fuel, then you're absolutely the one in the driver's seat. But the very first step is realizing you're also the only one who holds the key to the ignition.
You know, it's such a common trap to wait for someone else, a boss, a friend, a partner, to tell you, hey, you're doing a great job. We just wait for that external praise to fuel us. But relying on that is kind of like depending on someone else to fill up your gas tank. I mean, what happens when they're not around? And this really highlights a crucial difference. Your own internal motivation is so powerful and authentic precisely because it comes from you. It's always there when you need it. External praise, on the other hand, it's totally unstable. It can be inconsistent, sometimes it's not even sincere, and it puts your drive in someone else's hands. So the most important thing is this: learn to start your own engine.
Okay, so we know we need to be our own source of fuel. But when are those critical moments to actually turn the key and give yourself a boost? Well, it turns out there are 4 key scenarios you should really watch for. First, when your physical or mental energy is just completely tanked. Second, when you start to feel like your goals are kind of pointless, or that there's just no use in even trying. Third, when you actually need to double down and really accelerate your progress. And finally, that critical moment when you know what you have to do, but you feel completely paralyzed, unable to take that first successful step. Just recognizing these moments is half the battle.
All right, now that we know when to start our engine, let's look at the how. How is this engine actually built? You know, every great engine is built from a few core components, and our motivation is no different. It all comes down to a 4-part blueprint for creating a really reliable and powerful motivational system. So these 4 components are preparation, training, flexibility, and, yes, enjoyment. Each one is a critical part of the machine. If you miss one of them, the whole engine can just sputter and stall. So let's take a closer look at how they all work together, starting with preparation.
First up is preparation. Look, motivation without a direction is just wasted energy. You've got to have a map. Having a strategic plan, just knowing what your goals are, gives your motivation a target. It's the difference between flooring the gas pedal in a parking lot and hitting the highway with a clear destination in mind.
Next is training. You don't build motivational muscle overnight. It just doesn't happen. The key is to break down those huge, intimidating goals into small, manageable steps. Each time you complete a small task and check it off, you get this little jolt of achievement. And that success, that's fuel. It creates this powerful momentum that carries you to the next step and the next.
The third component is flexibility. Because, let's be real, life rarely goes according to plan. You're going to hit roadblocks, detours, all kinds of unexpected challenges. And if you're too rigid, a single setback can shut your engine down completely. So the key is to have backup plans and to see obstacles not as dead ends, but as opportunities to find a new, maybe even more creative route to your destination.
And this brings us to the 4th and maybe the most overlooked component: enjoyment. You just can't run on pure grit forever. The logic here is simple but so powerful. Hearts get bored just like bodies do. Even our minds get tired. Building moments of rest, joy, and learning into your journey isn't a distraction. It's essential maintenance for your engine. So we have the blueprint. Now let's get practical. How do you actually turn the key in those moments when you really feel stuck? Let's look at 3 simple, actionable tools you can add to your personal motivation toolkit right now. These methods are incredibly straightforward. using encouraging words for yourself, rewarding your own successes, and consistently learning something new. Simple, right? But they're so effective when you actually put them into practice.
Now, while positive self-talk and rewarding your wins are powerful ways to give yourself a quick boost, that third tool, learning something new, it creates a self-sustaining loop. See, when you learn and grow, you start to see tangible results. You get better at something. You create something new. You hit a milestone. And those results, they become their own feedback loop, providing the most authentic praise there is. Proof of your own progress. As we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with a few powerful ideas to keep in your toolkit. Think of these as a little extra fuel for your tank, ready for when you need it most on the road ahead.
This is such a great reminder that motivation isn't just about discipline. True enthusiasm can transform a really difficult task into a compelling challenge. It makes the work feel less like work. So ask yourself, where can I find more of that in my own day?
And this is just a crucial reframe of what failure is. Every attempt, whether it's successful or not, is part of the process. The only real way to lose is to give up on the journey altogether. What a fantastic image, right? This transforms every challenge from something that trips you up into something that actually gives you a higher vantage point. Every single problem becomes a stepping stone. And that brings us to the final crucial point. Self-motivation isn't a one-time fix. It's a continuous practice. It's like a lamp that you have to tend to, putting in a little oil each and every day to keep that flame bright. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what oil will you put in your lamp today?